Today is season 2, episode 3 of Career Girl Chats. If you don't already know, my name is Anna O, and I am the founder of Career Girl Lifestyle. Every Wednesday, I host Career Girl Chats where I sit down with professional women in various industries to discuss career, business, and life lessons that have molded them. Today, I have the honor of speaking with Chazeen. She is a video producer and director. Before I invite my guest in, let's get into her bio and read these credentials, y'all. So Chazeen is a TV producer and director who is known for her contributions to broadcast television and digital media. She has collaborated with Music Choice, Google, BET, and Samsung as a producer, speaker, and host. She has worked on projects for some of the biggest artists such as Bruno Mars, Cardi B, DJ-Khaled, and many more. She is also the host of Chaz Chats, which is a quarterly based series where she speaks with guest panelists about millennial matters, including career development, fitness, dating, and living by faith. So thank you for joining us for Career Girl Chats tonight. How are you doing?
Having me. I'm doing well. It's been a long day. We're prepping for some upcoming shoots this weekend and Friday, so that's really where I've been focused. I've been on calls all day and in between like running errands. So it's been a good day.
I know, the life of a busy woman. Well, thank you once again for joining us. Let's get right into the chat. So what inspired you to become a video producer and director?
What inspired me? I guess I'd say it started with, I started out doing a lot of on-camera stuff, like via red carpet coverage, interviewing people and things like that. And then I also had this great idea for a YouTube show that I didn't know I was producing at the time, but produced with my friends. Mm-hmm. And I used to be an event planner. That was my first career. And then a friend of mine was like, hey, why don't you look for a job when I was over at event planning? She was like, hey, why don't you look for a job in production? And I didn't even think of it as like a real career. I feel bad saying this, but you know, like with our parents, usually they're talking about being a doctor or a lawyer, the usual. Right. So that's pretty much how it started. I really enjoyed producing that YouTube show. And so, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier, how you could be like in the midst of doing things and not even realize like you are producing, you are directing. Mm-hmm. So talk to us a little bit about your journey. Like, what were some of the steps that you took early in your career to get your feet in the door? And how did you position yourself for success in your career?
Some of the steps. Well, I'll definitely say that YouTube show was helpful. I think for someone who is transitioning careers, because I get this question a lot, you know, think about where you can, where you can show the proof in the pudding, right? That you know what you're doing. And so for me, you know, working on that YouTube show, I was managing a crew of 15 people who were all volunteers, but nonetheless, that was my crew of shooters, audio, everything, you know, that we need to do, even marketing. And so I literally took that experience, put that on a resume to apply for my first position, which funny enough was, I think technically it was called a PA like position, mm-hmm. Production assistant, but mm-hmm. it involved a lot more. It was more hands-on than your usual production assistant position, which could be anything from running errands to, they're not usually producing. I guess I'll say that. So that's how I got started.
Okay. Did you also do any internships? I know a lot of people that I know who work in like just entertainment and music, they get their feet through the door like through internships. Like that's the only way some of them have said. Is that true?
I think that's a good choice. Definitely a great option that I would say to take advantage of for sure. I did not have an internship in production. So I actually studied marketing in school, in college.
Okay.
And then,
me too.
You know, huh?
I said me too.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
I think it's a great foundation to have because then when it comes time to run your own businesses, which is what I'm focused on right now, you know, you have that background. Mm-hmm. But right after, I actually moved to New York to dance. That's a fun fact about me.
Wow.
And then I went into event planning, mm-hmm. and then I transitioned into production. So my internships were all at labels at the time because I thought I want record labels because I thought I wanted to work in their marketing departments. So they were helpful. They let me know that's not what I wanted to do, and that's the purpose of the internship, to learn, figure out where your place is in this world career wise and what you want to do. Get confirmation, save yourself the time, or learn.
Right. So once you got your feet through the door and you're like, okay, I've arrived, was it everything that you imagined it to be, or was it like, whoa, what did I get myself into?
In production, yeah, I loved it. I was really excited about it. Like, to know that I was getting paid for something that I was doing for free before on YouTube, like, it was awesome. And the funny thing is, I was much older at the time, like being a production assistant, but I was like really excited to do everything. And like I said, I had the on camera experience. And so I think it's really important to find your strong point and like run with that. So me having experience as talent allowed me to be able to relate to talent in a different way. So I'm really great with talent, whether they be celebrities, hosts, etc. Like, that is one of my strong points. I even literally just added it to my resume because I was like, oh, I need to put this on my resume because it's the truth. But it's because I understand what it's like to be in front of the camera as well as behind. And so I can like speak the language and, better communicate that. Okay.
So that actually brings me to my next question. So you said you've been on camera and off camera. Have you ever felt the pressure to, especially as a woman, to kind of be something that you aren't, just to kind of get ahead or to be likable or just, to get more opportunities?
As a woman working in entertainment, a lot of people will try to mix business and pleasure. I don't think that's something that people talk about a lot. I did feel like very much so like not equipped for that experience. And I really wish I had someone to speak to about it. But yeah, that's something I experienced from internship. Even down to, I'll experience it now, but it's different. It's different when you're older and you're not green, like people really try to take advantage of you. When I say advantage, I mean like receiving calls at 2 a.m. to come over if I want this internship. I need someone kissing me in front of everybody. Like, I'm talking like ridiculous stuff that should not happen. Of course, I was much younger. Right now, that wouldn't happen. So you deal with those issues and understanding how to handle it. Because at the end of the day, let's say I'm interviewing a celebrity and they try to holler, like, I absolutely want to shut it down, but I want to do it in a way that doesn't ruin the piece that I'm looking to produce. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want them in a funk, and now what's portrayed on camera is like throwing off my idea. You get me? So that's as a woman. And then of course the usual things as a woman, just making sure that men take you seriously, etc. Then as a Black person, or maybe it's because I'm a Black woman, that's the hard thing when you're a Black woman. You don't know if it's because you're Black or a woman. But as you'll notice, my voice is deeper. And what I found oftentimes in life, when I'm not laughing, people think I have an attitude. I've had a lot of people say to me, oh, I thought you were going to be mean, and then I got to know you, yada, yada, yada. And so there was a point where I almost like made my voice higher pitched when I'm talking to people, like, yeah, so yeah, what are you, and now I don't got time for it. I mean, we're also in a new space right now where like, we're very Black empowerment, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so happy for where we are, because I do feel like I can really like walk truly in my skin. In my deep voice. And if you take offense to it, like, I don't know what to tell you, because I know I'm a nice person.
How are you able to find that voice though? Because I feel like most women, they'll want to conform to, whatever it is that's happening, for whatever reasons that they have. But for you, it seems like that was really important for you to stay true to yourself. So how are you able to just, find your voice and stand firm in who you are?
I'm gonna keep it all the way real, so I hope that's okay. I always knew I was not gonna sleep with somebody in this industry. That was just a decision, but that I made for myself. But I do understand how this ends up happening with people, for several different reasons. One, there's the power shift, right? You might feel like, okay, I need to do this, as we're seeing as we saw with Me Too and everything like that. You feel like you need to do this for the job. I've always had a connection with God, so that wasn't really an option for me. I didn't want to feel that conviction. On top of that, my parents, we had the conversation. My father like always likes to pop in and be like, I hope you're not, selling yourself, or, because I know people when they're desperate, yada, yada, yada. But in addition to that, it just, for anyone who's ever thinking about it, oh, and then also like if celebrities interested in you, you kind of feel like, oh, I'm special because who's someone that's popular? Drake is interested in me. Like whether they'll admit it or not, it's just something we feel as women when the hot guy, whether he's the football player or celebrity, etc., looks at you and says and takes an interest in you. Just naturally you feel that. But for me, it was just really remembering, one, you're one of many. Right. And two, that reputation follows you. That's what you don't need in your life. That reputation follows you. And if you think they're going to keep it a secret, people will know. So as far as finding my voice, it was my morals that let me know I just couldn't do that. And so I just had to work through that. Honestly, I didn't always know what to say in the beginning. I just, when I mentioned the situation of someone kissing me in front of everybody, I didn't say anything to that man. I just and then left, right. You know? But if that happened now, I'd say, excuse me, hey, that's inappropriate. Like, don't ever do that again, you know? But if it's something not as extreme, someone might say this isn't the best advice, but let's keep in mind, once again, I want to make sure if it's talent I'm working with, I want to make sure at the end of the day, my goal is achieved. And so I play dumb. I just like to play dumb. I don't know what you're talking about until you flat out say it, and most people will not say it. And if you say it, it's like, I'd like to keep them. I would like to focus on what it is we're working on right now. Right. So that's how I deal with it.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I love how open you are about your faith. So how do you stay true to yourself as a creative, especially in an industry that doesn't always, like glorify Christianity or things that are in alignment, with those beliefs and values?
I think at the end of the day, like over the years, I've really strengthened my relationship with God, even over this pandemic and, having so much time at home. I've really felt led to have a lot of fasts and spend a lot of time with God. Right. And at the end of the day, like God is the one person who is with me at every second, who sees everything that I do. And so that's with me. You get me? I could do something and hide it from the public, but God sees everything. And so, and he's been so good to me that I can't deny him. You get me? So at the end of the day, I will say, maybe a few years ago, there was more of a concern of how this is going to come up. And sometimes people still take offense. But at the end of the day, there's so many other things that other people mention that are offensive to other people that people don't care about, and they get a pass with it. So I speak about myself. I don't try to force anything on anyone. And you can't tell me not to talk about what pertains to me. You get me? Right. That's it. I don't know. Take me as I am. That's it. If I lost a job for it, let me put it this way. If I lost a job for it, I'm very confident that God will supply another. If he took it away, he has something else for me. So I'm not concerned. Right. I would say that would be the strongest concern maybe for some people. Oh, is my job going to take offense, or is this person not going to like me? Like, I'm very confident in what God has for me. So if he removes a person or a thing, I'm sure there's a reason why, and something better is coming.
Yeah. And most importantly, those opportunities aren't for you anyway. Right? Like if you have to compromise yourself, they're not for you. Right? Yeah. So I was doing my research, and I saw that you mentioned that you're most creative when you're in the shower or on the train. Like you can write scripts on the train. I don't know if that's what you do for all of your projects, but walk us through your creative process. Like, how do you come up with the concept, create it, and then turn it into, the finished product that we see?
So that part actually is still true, which funny enough, literally today I had to do, because I'm producing this live stream that's happening on Friday. And there's so much going on. I'm working so many jobs at this point that I was just I can't think. So I was I'm just gonna go take a shower. Gotta do it anyways. And then got the whole run of show. Good. So that is part of my process. And it's funny because an old coworker of mine, Tim, if you're there, what's up? I saw him on there, and he mentioned something great that was really helpful to me. He asked me what to figure out. He suggested that I figure out the theme for example, shower and train. And I think the theme of those things is being in a space where there's not a lot going on around me. And I don't, I know you might think subway, there's a lot going on, but when you're in the subway, sometimes you're in your own space. You get me? You're not really interacting with the other people. Yeah. There's no distractions. I can't do anything else. you know? So I think that's the theme of it. But as far as the process is concerned, for anybody who doesn't know what a producer does, it varies from sub industry to sub industry, whether you work on scripted content or unscripted, short form content, or like feature films or television. So me, I work on unscripted, mostly short form content. And so usually with a lot of those companies, and it varies from company to company as well. The theme of it all is the producer is the person that's pretty much running the show. They're coordinating, they're hiring crew. Sometimes they're coming up with the concept. I prefer to only work it if I'm coming up with the concept because I want to see my idea come to life. And in this world of short form content, oftentimes they're editing it as opposed to like, you know, dealing with the editor and whatnot. I'm directing it on set. So I'm interacting with talent. That's where that part comes into place. And then once I'm done with the edit, carrying it through to delivery. I just don't edit audio and I don't do graphics, but that's pretty much my process for that part of it. And then there's something different for interviewing talent, but let me get into that.
Okay. Which one would you say comes most naturally to you, the directing or the producing?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out right now, honestly. This is the first time in my career that I'm freelancing, and I like it. I like it because it gives me an opportunity to try different things. When I say different things, I mean different themes of content. So like in the fall, I was working on something that was more political focused and then something that was Black Lives Matter focused. Right now I'm live streaming a dance class. I'm also planning a concert live stream that's coming up this week. And then next week I'm doing something that's more fun. Like it's taking celebrities out of their environment to do something. But I like being able to, you know, and I'm like learning different things. Like I'm learning about audio through the live stream. And like, I never did live stream before. I'm picking that up, you know, learning more about cameras. One might assume producers know cameras, but they don't need to know cameras. But when you do know cameras, by the way, if you're not following me, follow me because I will be releasing a video next week talking about a challenge that I decided to introduce to my life monthly or bi-monthly, where I just try different things. So what I was going to say in the video, I mentioned the importance of the challenge is when you can speak the language of your crew, they have more respect for you, I realize, you know, and it becomes more of a collaborative effort, which just creates something that much better, you know? So, yeah.
I like that language. So last year you produced the event, the Do You Know Your Rights tour. So how is it important for you to use your work as an outlet to speak on social matters such as racial injustice? And do you feel like other creatives in your space have the responsibility to also use their artistry to bring awareness to these issues?
I feel like if you believe in something, you should absolutely utilize your talent to educate the masses, you know? Now, I do think it's important to understand when you're the person that should be speaking, you know, or not. I'm not the person always. And so in the tour, for example, that you mentioned, like I brought other hosts on to host. I ended up hosting the last episode of that tour. It was all virtual live stream, y'all. But I didn't intend to. Something happened and I had to. And so then also I produced a piece for Complex. We pretty much brought it into a Complex episode. I was producing that. You get me? So that was my outlet. That's part of, I believe, you know, it aligns with my purpose in life. I believe I'm here to share information with people. Seems to be really helpful. Like I just thought it was just stuff for me, but people seem to really appreciate it and uplift people as well. So yeah, I think it's important, but I think it's important to understand, you know, what part you play, what role you can play in that. You don't have to take on the role that everyone else is, especially if you're not the person for it. You know, not the best person to do it, I should say.
Right. Okay. So, of course, I want to talk about the celebrities. You've worked with some of the biggest names in music, such as Cardi B, DJ-Khaled, J Balvin, and more. So, who's been your favorite artist to work with so far, and why?
You know, I don't have a favorite, unfortunately. I am so sorry. For me, the favorites align with what I've been able to accomplish through them. Just because I've passed the phase, like when you start, you're like, oh, celebrities, yay, you know, and then you kind of get over it. That's not to say that I don't get excited for certain people, but you know what I get more so excited about, funny enough, is the people that most don't care about. It's like my childhood.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Because
saw
the childhood
those
me
like
is
with,
excited.
with Mario.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, did you say Mario?
Or
Yes.
no, or, I think it was Juvenile. There was like a post you put up with Juvenile, and
Oh,
you were
okay. So
like
I looked
the
really excited
childhood
for that. But
me.
you know why I was excited? Because I was creating a video for my friend who used to love him in middle
Oh,
school.
okay.
So I was like really, I like doing stuff like that too. Like I remember when my sister was a child, I had Adrienne Bailon at the time. She was doing Cheetah Girls. I had her like give a message, say happy birthday or something like that to her. And to this day, my sister still has that message. Like it warms my heart. First of all, gift giving is my love language. But I like surprising people too. And then so those are the moments that I enjoy more so. Like dope to interview Cardi B. She's cool. She's talented. And she's funny, you know. And she was funny that day. But like that's more so what like lives in my mind. Those are highlights, I should say.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit about your YouTube channel. Like, what are some of the things that you'll be doing this year? What are you looking forward to the most?
So for YouTube is funny enough. I'm still like exploring with that, like really trying to figure out, you know, which direction I'm going in, and I'm giving myself permission to do that. But right now, I would say the focus is life hacks, pretty much. And so that's life hacks via, you know, my career, what I do as a producer, sharing life hacks about being an influencer and a content creator and getting paid for it. And then also just like lifestyle life hacks. And that's pretty much where I'm gonna like stay for now. I would encourage, you know, like if you feel led to do a YouTube channel, I think it's beneficial, but I think you need to have a strong why. And so my why, you know, I'm not afraid to share, is to build my community so that at the end of the day, I have a space. When I want to share information, I can share it. When I want to share content that I create, whether it is a short piece or like your traditional YouTube piece, or it's like a feature film, or it's a scripted piece of content, I have a community that is there to receive the message. And in addition to that, bargaining power when I'm pitching it to a network or a studio. So that's my why, because it's a lot of work. Let me say that the whole influencer thing is not easy, but my why keeps me going. So that's the long-term plan. By the way, follow me on YouTube, youtube.chazeen.com, or you go to my Instagram page there too.
How do you find balance between your career and your personal life?
I'm very big on work-life balance. I don't plan on having a life or living a life as a producer who works 24/7. Like I'm not about that life. And I'm not, if I should become a household name or a major name or whatever, that's great, but it won't be by me like working 24/7 and not coming up to breathe for air. Like I'm not about that life right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Like I don't know how much time I have on this earth. You know what I'm saying? So like I want to stop to smell the roses now.
Yeah.
You know?
Enjoy the moments. I had a professor in college. He said you don't want to live to work. You want to work so that you can live. And so you saying that, you know, just made me think of him. 5 years from now, where do you see yourself? Like, what are some accomplishments that you would like to have under your belt?
I definitely want my channel to be doing very well. I want to have a community. What those numbers will look like, I don't know. But I'm learning, for anyone who's interested, like you don't have to have millions of followers or even 100,000 followers, etc., to make this a success. What you need is loyal people. So you need to pour into the folks who are presently supporting you. And so I will say I do want to monetize on that, and I've already started, you know, getting that into place. I do plan to, I'm scared to say this, but let's put it out there because we will be doing it. It's just a matter of when. I plan to release a course that aligns with like the influencer focus and how I have set everything up and set everything up in a way that I can profit on it. Because a lot of people have questions. I just happen to set up a Calendly link in my bio offering consultations for people and have been booking people. So I'm like, okay, people want this information. But the great thing about courses is not only does it allow me to not have to repeat the same thing over and over again, but it's like mailbox money. You know, I'm not doing anything, it's just coming in. So that's a great source of income that will allow me to not feel like I need to consistently work as a producer always. I would say that's the focus right now. I do have an idea that will probably be scripted by then, will be out by then. Like I'm kind of rocking with God on this, so it's whatever He shows me. But yeah, that's all I know right now.
Okay, well, wishing you the best.
Thank you.
I don't like to say good luck. I just say wishing you the best, right?
I appreciate
Wishing you the best, let God do the rest.
Okay.
So for women who are interested in working in entertainment, whether that's on screen or off screen, what is your biggest piece of advice for them?
I would say if you have not done anything yet, start building up your portfolio of work. Because with the challenge that I mentioned, I'm shooting something different every week. So like I have an idea to shoot something HGTV styled. I shot a fitness promo, etc. That's now adding to my portfolio of work. You get me? And diversifying it and now showing people, like, not only am I learning from it, but also showing people, oh, she has a wide range of work that she can do. Document everything. Like I said, the live stream stuff, I actually slipped and forgot to do that, but they did it, the clients, so that's great. So I have a video for that. So document everything and put all of that on your resume. And you don't need to wait. Internships are great, yes, but if you are past that age, you can create your own work. Hop on projects for people for free, work with them for free, and then just add all of that stuff to your resume. And I would say also, if you're going to work with someone for free, because this is a little pet peeve of mine, I'm a very cool person, I'm a chill person, but I don't like when people waste my time. And so if I'm giving you a responsibility and I'm inviting you into my project, I just need you to like be dependable. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not dependable, now you're creating extra work for me. Not only did I have to tell you what to do, but now I have to go behind you and correct what you did. And that puts a bad taste in people's mouth. And so I'll use myself as an example as, again, I won't necessarily, don't expect to be cursed out, but I won't book you again. You get me?
I have a bag of mystery questions. So these are some questions that were not on our list that we had for our chat. These are questions that you do not know, but it'll help us to learn a little bit more about you. So I'm going to just pick at random 3 questions.
Okay, sounds fun.
Let's see. Ooh. So the first one, it's not a question, but it just says, one self-care tip. What is one self-care tip of yours that you practice?
This is my lesson of this year. Segmenting my time. I had, I'm getting better, a bad habit of fusing everything into everything. And so right now, the way my day works is literally I wake up in the morning and I check my phone just in case there's any emergency text messages, and then I put it down and I spend time with God. And then I work out. If I'm working out, I'm presently not working out, but I'm back on it soon. And then when that's done, I will start now listening to the news and stuff like that. Maybe I'll answer like some text messages, but I don't really get into the text messages and emails until like maybe 10 o'clock. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. And I feel like it's important to teach people how to treat you or manage expectations. Some people might disagree with me and they'd be like, no, you should be answering your emails at 9. Like, I just don't. Mentally, I need that. That's how I can be the best person for you. You know, if it's urgent, yeah, I'll catch that. But if it's not, yeah. Cause like, yeah, I'm not even gonna elaborate. But and then the evenings I end at a certain time, unless, you know, there's a lot going on. And I give myself, like, I think around 8 o'clock, I end at 6:30. And like from then to 8, I'll do whatever. And then from 8 o'clock, I start getting ready for bed. And then like I chill, I give myself an hour or two to like just watch TV or just listen to music or just be on like Instagram, whatever I want to do. But I have that time where I'm doing mindless stuff. Yeah. Like I need that. And like it took me so long to get on point with that, but I kept feeling the strongest conviction. Finally, when I did it, my peace is so much better.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because I started implementing routines like this year, and I like mine is very set up like similar to yours. And I've noticed I've actually been able to be more productive. You know, it's like you don't wake up and you're just like mindlessly going through your day. Like if you have things set up a certain way, it's like you get your stuff done, but you feel good too. You know?
Yes, that makes sense. Because I feel like in our minds, we're like, no, I'm putting in less hours of work, and so I'm not getting as much done. But it's almost comparable to like if you ever had the experience where you stay up in the night to try and finish something, and it takes you twice as long as if you just took a nap really quickly and then woke up in the morning and it's like bang, 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 you bang it out, you know? Yeah. So I feel you. I feel like we're a lot alike. We haven't spoken about this, but like I said, I really appreciate this lady. Like, she's on point with everything. Like, to set everything up with me, you were so on point. I didn't have any questions.
Oh, thank you.
And I was like, she made it so easy for me to say yes, and I would say yes again because you just made you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So let's get to our second mystery question. Yes. Ooh, I like this one. What is the most intimidating part of your career? So let's say we know you wear many hats, but let's just say as a producer, director.
What's the most intimidating part? Probably doing things that I don't know how to do. Imposter syndrome is a real thing.
Yes.
You know?
Speak on it.
If the requirement, you know, like 80%, what do they say? Men are okay with applying if it's like 60%, but then women, you know, I'm trying to get out of that and like remind myself that I can learn. Because when I'm doing it for myself, I figure it out. But for some reason, when it's for someone else, I'm like, no, I can't. I don't want to mess it up. You know? So I'm really cycling out of that. Like, even with the live stream, I did the 2 ones, or I'm going to do the second one. I'm like, and that's it. I don't want to do anymore.
Right.
And then I was like, I think I need to make myself do this.
Yeah.
I think I need to.
Yes. Do what scares you.
That part. Yeah.
All right. Last one. I was trying to get the one we were talking about earlier, but I'm not going to.
I didn't even prepare. I thought about it. I was like, shoot, I don't got the answer for her.
Ooh, okay. Also, another good one. So what is the biggest mistake that you made at work? Like, or in any of the work that you've done?
Not being prepared for an interview. Like, that's really bad. So when you're interviewing someone, you don't have to know everything about them, but it just makes it such a much better experience when you are as prepared as possible. Do all your research their Instagram, like, just know everything. And that allows you to have those casual talking points, like, even if it's not in the interview or not in the shoot, or we're not, you know, like, I can just be like, I don't know, let's say you commented on some sports team the other day and I don't follow sports at all. But let's say that wouldn't be my pick of things to talk about, but, you know, or let's say you just redecorated your house. I did too. And we're talking about it and we're bonding, you know? How
can people hit you up? Can they slide in the DMs? Should they send an email? What is your preferred method of communicating?
You can DM me, but DM me. And if I don't respond, follow up. A lot of people don't follow up, so I would say follow up. But I would say, like, let me know, you know, what you want to talk about, because some people just be like, hey. And
yeah. Like, hi.
But I prefer DM because I can do a voice note. Sometimes it's easier to do that than type a. And keep it short, please.
Chazeen, it was so wonderful talking to you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I loved your tips. Everyone, please go follow her if you are not following her already. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Bye, y'all.